Hello, I'm John Paval with Access Arts Live and a little special edition today, Sunday, January 11th, to tell you about a live stream triple header organ recital day of live stream action that we have for you. I'm sorry, that's a little prolix way I describe that. There are three highly interesting organ concert live streams going on today. I wanted to make sure you knew about them and gave you a little bit of background about each of them. So let us start out first with the two most conventional ones, okay? Sunday, January 11th at St Eustache Church in the heart of Paris. They are live streaming their masterful showman of a resident organist, Baptiste Florian Marle-Ouvrard, playing Modest Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition on the 7,952 pipe Van den Heuvel organ there. In an Instagram post on the subject, Baptiste Florian promises that this transcription of Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition for organ will allow him to demonstrate the full possibilities of this magnificent organ. And this organ is the equal of the organ at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. They have different numbers of stops is about the only difference. And they get at least 300 people every Sunday for these live stream concerts in person. And the French, they love these concerts, and it is a marvelous organ, which has tremendous possibilities to go from both sweet lyrical sounds to just majestic, massive expressions of organ sound. As for Marle-Ouvrard, he's a real showman, always wears red socks when he's playing on the live stream. And he is an award-winning improviser as well, and does a fair amount of organ recitals at other churches around Europe on a regular basis. Can't go wrong with St Eustache Church and Baptiste Florian Marle-Ouvrard, who's been one of the two resident organists there for the last 10 years, ever since the passing of Jean Guillou, the legendary organist who preceded them. We give you the links to that concert. We give you the link to Baptiste Florian Marle-Ouvrard's own website, and we also give you the link to a 35-minute interview I did with his co-resident organist Thomas Hospital, if you're even more curious about that organ and the architecture of the church and how the two of them work together. That's at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and about 2 hours from now, European time, 11 o'clock in the morning in New York City, and 8 o'clock in the morning in places like LA, San Francisco, and Seattle. Check it out, free of charge. Then, some hours later, Sunday, January 11th, the Eccles Organ Festival live streams organist and composer Dr. Richard K. Fitzgerald, director of music at St. Joseph's Cathedral, Columbus, Ohio, and for the entire Diocese of Columbus, playing Bach, Pachelbel, Clérambault, and selections from his own symphonies number 2 and 3, and from his 14 improvised meditations on the Stations of the Cross. That will be at 8 o'clock in the evening Mountain Standard Time, which will be 10 o'clock in the evening on the East Coast, 4 o'clock in the morning here in Europe, but a lovely 2 in the afternoon for our followers down there, down under in Australia, Monday afternoon. A little earlier if you're on the west coast of Australia, in some place like Perth, for example. We give you the link to that. That's on YouTube as well, free of charge, to the organist Dr. Fitzgerald's own website, and to the organ specs for the Eccles Memorial Organ, is what they call it, but it's the organ of the Cathedral of the Madeleine. I'll tell you more about the program. He starts out playing one section from his Symphony number 2. Then he plays Bach's he takes a piece from Bach's Orgelbüchlein, a piece that Charles-Marie Widor considered to be the finest piece of instrumental music ever written. It's quite a recommendation. And it's called O Mensch, bewein dein Sünde groß. I think that means confess your major sin. Anyway, BWV 622. Then he's playing pieces from Louis Nicolas Clérambault, a a Baroque era organist composer in France, obviously, from his Livre d'Orgue, and it's in 7 sections. He was Clérambault was in the court of Louis XIV, the Sun King, the great Louis XIV. Then he will play 2 sections from his 14 improvised meditations on the Stations of the Cross, which was inspired by Marcel Dupre's Le Chemin de la Crosse, the Way of the Cross. And Fitzgerald composed this so we'd have something to perform at St. Joseph's Cathedral in Columbus during Holy Week. Then Pachelbel's Ciaccone in C major, and then 2 sections from Fitzgerald's Symphony Number 3. Fitzgerald has been around, played formerly at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, served at Catholic parishes in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, South Dakota. He's won awards as an improviser, first prize in the 2nd annual competition in organ improvisation sponsored by the University of Michigan, one of my alma maters, and etc. He got his doctorate and master's from the Peabody Conservatory, and he has taught organ improvisation at the Peabody Conservatory. There are some improvisers who say you can't teach it. He doesn't agree. He has formulated an entire method for teaching organ improvisation theaters. And I want to mention also he's composed a couple of masses. This is a serious Catholic mass in honor of St. Bernadette and the mass in honor of St. Cecilia. So those are 2, and you've got the pictures of the 2 of them. The one you have, the one above is a beautiful picture of Baptiste Florian Marle-Ouvrard, who's sort of lolling, stretched across the 5 manual organ at St Eustache Church. And before I conclude, though, I want to mention one other organ event, which is ongoing, still taking place. I'll put up for you the picture of what I call the John Cage Gang of 4 organists. This is day 5 of the 8-day continuous live performance of John Cage's Organ 2 ASLAP, As Slowly as Possible, with organist, scholars, sound artists Diane Lucchesi, Alexander F. Mesler, Christopher Anderson, and Kimberly Marshall. And Kimberly managed to get the whole thing organized at Arizona State University so they could play continually for 8 days, because the key to this is, where do you find a space where you can play an organ for 192 hours? Now, the other 3, Diane Lucchesi, Alexander Mesler, and Christopher Anderson, each of them have already played this piece, Organ 2, but for respectively things like 15, 16, or 24 hours. This is the longest known human performance of John Cage's Organ 2, As Slowly as Possible, ASLAP. You might want to check that out. It is not organ music it is instead an organ event, and it is almost as though they create a cathedral of sound which you can live in. My brother, who lives in North Carolina, just had it on the last 24 hours. He just has it on, and he's living inside the event. It's an amazing thing, and you find out that an organ note is when you play an organ note for 45 minutes, it's not the same thing as when you beep, you just hit it. And it gets into things like that. And then there are like long rest. It's like a 43-minute rest. It's not silence. It's a 43-minute rest. Anyway, so you can check that out too. Anyway, folks, I wanted to let you know about all 3 of these things. If you're an organ lover, maybe one of these experiences will inspire you, uplift you, or just show you a heck of a good time. I don't know. Remember, if you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching, or better still, like us, better still, follow and/or subscribe to Access Arts Live. We're on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn, and we'll make sure you continue to get weekly and daily updates on all of the exciting organ live stream action going on out there. Ciao for now. Have a good Sunday. And may it be better for tuning into one of these live streams.